Hi, so today we'll be learning 5 questions, that is a practice questions to attend MB-800 exam. Okay, so this is about setting up a set up a basic business central in your system. So if you missed that, just go ahead and search MB-800. Here we have learned about these learning path, okay, already. If you go ahead, you can find um, yes, this one. Okay, we have completed setup business central, these one and these two things. Okay, if you have missed understanding where these topics are, you can find it here. This is the first few topics, which is like you can find, just look into this particular thing, that is setup business central. We have nearly, I think we have, yes, we have nearly 13 sessions on setting up a business central. So you will be understanding what these topics are and then come to these questions, 5 questions, then only you can understand. Okay, so first question, you are implementing Dynamics 365 Business Central online. Users must be added to Business Central for the first time. Okay, so you have to add the Business Central users for the first time. You need to add the users. Which action should you use? So you have these options. Get new user from Office 365, create a new entry on the user setup page, update users from Office 365, import user groups. So guess the answer and tell me. I will tell you like what is correct, and also if you want me to show like exactly how it works, like I can also show that to you.
I think it is C.
Okay, so update users from Microsoft 365. Okay, good try. But here, this is what they will be asking questions to confuse us. Okay, so the question here is what you are setting up Dynamics 365 for the first time. Okay, so the first time you are setting up that, and they wanted to add the users to it. Okay, if you the understanding of this question is what you have to add it for the first time. So the option is get new users from Office 365. So you have to get the users from the Office 365. Okay, this is the correct one because Business Central Online is integrated with Microsoft 365 Azure Active Directory. So when you first set up a busy users which are already in Azure AD because they are part of the Microsoft 365 tenant. So this optional pulls newly created users. So this will enable you to pull the created users. So where to go and check that? You can just go ahead and check here. Okay, so in this you can find admin. Okay, if you click on this admin, you can see it will take you to the admin page. If you click on the users, you can find the active users here. Okay, so the answer is create new users from Office 365. Why option C is not possible? Okay, this update users in the sense it will refresh your user details like the name or license or update permissions for the users who already in BC, but it does not bring the new users for the first time. Okay, and I'll also tell you the second one, create a new entry on the user setup page. This is like the user setup page is not where you create users. It is to assign additional settings to the user. And the last one, import user groups. So of course, this is not an option. So user groups are for assigning permission sets in a bulk. So in this first thing, what you can neglect, what you can just remove it is what the first one, okay, which is sorry, this the second one, create a new entry on the setup page and import user group. These two you can easily reject it. Okay, only you will get confused with get new users and update users from Office 365, but this is the right answer. Any queries? If you want to again explain, I can explain this to you.
Clear.
Okay, so let us go to the question number 2. You set up a new company for a customer. Okay, so how to set up a company? We already discussed. You have to go here, go to the settings page. You can just set up the company from here. You will be setting up a company from here. Okay, So they are asking you like the customer provides you with the Microsoft Excel. That is not the question here, not setting up the company. So customer is providing you with the Microsoft Excel file that contains the master data. You need to import the master data by using a configuration package. Which four actions should you perform in sequence to answer the question? So here, this is another type of question. You will be getting it in the exam. So there will be an actions provided in the left side. From here, you have to find which four options comes in a sequence. You have to drag and drop to the answer area. This is your answer area. Okay. So now you have to tell which one you should use it, like which option, which sequence. What is the sequence of doing this? Do you want to guess? If you want to guess, you can. I'll wait.
Mm, I'm a bit confused.
Okay, no problem. So you have first you have to go through if this type of question is asked, you have to first go through the all the actions. Okay, so the first one is import a populated Excel template into the sales header and lines. Of course, this will not be the first option because they are directly asking you to import it in the sales header and lines. Second one, import a populated Excel template into the packaged data. Okay, they have given two options to you. First, you can understand which one to remove. Okay, which one to deselect, like the first one. Okay, because here they asked you to import it. This is your master data and you have to import into the configuration package. Then out of these two, the second one works fine. Import a populated Excel Excel file into the packaged data. Okay. Second, third one is export a configuration package. We have to think whether it is required or not. Then next one, apply the data, create a configuration package. So compared with export configuration file, create a configuration package is what we require because they wants you to import the data by using a configuration package. And they already told you that you have set up a new company. Then it's a new company, then you have to create the configuration package. Already the configuration package will not be available. Even though it is available, you no need to export it. It is already there. You have to use the configuration file package. So the first block and the third block is removed. Okay. 4, 5, 6. You have 6 blocks. We have already removed the unwanted block from this. Now we have to make it in a proper order. So what will be the first one is what? Export an Excel template and populate the data. This is what the first one which will come. Okay. And the second one is create a configuration package. Okay. And the third one is import and populate Excel template into the package data. And fourth one is the apply data. Okay. I'm just trying something to write it here. Let me just see. Okay, let me just write it with this. Okay, okay, it's not used for writing. Okay, fine. So let me just add, this is your first one. Okay, this is your first option, that is export an Excel template and populate the data is what your first option. Second option is what, this is the first one. Okay, we cannot write it on this. Fine. So the last one is not like export the Excel template and populate is your first option. Let me just write it here. Export an Excel um, template and it, populate the data is the first block. And the second block is what you have to use the create a configuration file is the second block. The third block is import a populated Excel data, import the populated Excel data. And the fourth one is what? Apply the data. Okay. And the fourth one is apply the data. So this is what the order you have to drag and drop it. If you like while learning, if you feel like no, this is not the order, something different, I feel or I understand, my understanding is different, you can come and let me know. Okay, so this is what the order which I feel. You can let me know if you feel something different. Okay. Any queries here? Okay, I'm just proceeding with the next one. That is a question number three. A company uses a Dynamics 365 Business Central. The company wants to print financial statements by using a cloud-based printer. Okay, this is a very important thing which you have to understand. This is a cloud-based printer. Okay, and you need to recommend the type of printer the customer should install. What kind of printer the customer should install? Which type of printer should you recommend? Whether you will be recommending email, system, client default, or server default. Hope you understand the question. Just if you want to understand it better, let me know.
Yeah, could you please explain again?
Yeah, so a company is actually using a Dynamics 365 Business Central. Okay. So they wanted to print the financial statements. Financial statements, what happened in this year, what is a credit, what is everything. Like they wanted to print the financial statement by using the cloud-based printer. Okay, you need to recommend the type of printer the customer should install. What kind of printer that customer should install?
I'm just trying
Okay.
whether it can be email.
Okay, this is what usually people will think. I can understand.
Hmm.
Okay, fine. So let me just tell you the options, and I'll also tell you like why email is not the correct answer. Okay. So why? Because email is not the correct answer is what? Email printer means the output is sent as an attachment via email. It is not really printing to a physical cloud printer. Okay. So this is wrong in this scenario because specifically they have asked for the cloud based printer as an output. Okay, so email is not the correct answer. System. The system printer type in BC refers to the printers defined in the BC cloud printing management. That is via universal print by Microsoft or any extension. So these are actual printers registered in the cloud and can be managed centrally. So according to me, this is the right answer. And why client default is not possible? Because this sends the output to the default printer of the user's local machine browser. It depends on the user's computer setup, not on the cloud printer setup. So this is not possible. And the server default is what? This used to apply more to on premise environment where BC server had a default printer. So even this is not possible. So of course you have guessed it rightly. You have already rejected these two things. That is, it's not a client default or a server default. People will always think because it's a cloud based, so they may think like it's an email. But according to me, system is the right answer.
Got it.
Okay. Yeah. Let us just go to the next question. If you have any question, you can just let me know. The fourth question is you create a test instance of Dynamics 365 Business Central and enter the transaction for the testing purpose. Okay, you are creating a test instance for that and you are entering the transactions. For testing purpose, you create a production company instance in the same Business Central environment. Okay, in one environment, you can create one production. So if you just go ahead and see in the admin center, you can see that in one environment, I am in one environment, I can create one production and three sandbox environment. So production environment is what where you're really just deploying your entire business central extension, where the sandbox environment is what you're creating, you're testing it something or some you can use the sandbox environment. Okay. So the question here is like you need to copy the setup and master data from the test instance to the production instance without copying transaction data. What are the two possible ways to achieve the goal? Each correct answer presents a complete solution. Just try If you didn't understand the question, let me know. I will explain it.
No, no, fine. I'll try.
Yeah.
I think the first one is not there.
Use the run migration now. Yes, very good guess. First one is not there.
Create and export configuration package from the source company. Next, import to the destination company. Yeah, that will be fine. B.
Hmm.
Okay. B is the answer, and I am confused with C and D.
Okay. You have guessed it right. B is the right answer. Okay. And why A is not the right answer? I'll just tell you the thing. Okay. I'll tell you the run migration now function from cloud migration environment. So cloud migration environment management is used to migrate from on-premise to Business Central Online. So it's not intended to copy data between companies in the same environment. So this is wrongly used. If they have mentioned something like a different environment, then you can, maybe we can have this as a choice. You have guessed it right. Very good. Second one is create an export configuration package. This is right because a configuration package allows you to pick which table to export. Example like master data or a setup table. You can exclude transaction tables like general ledger, item ledger entries or something. So this is correct, which is a flexible and precise and commonly used one. Third one, use the copy data from date company function from the configuration worksheet. So this is the second right answer because the configuration worksheet has a copy data from company function. So copy data from company is a function. Okay, it lets you bring over selected types of setup and master data without transaction. So this is correct. And why this is not correct? Because this is not correct. Okay, let me just. Okay, this is not correct because copying a company at the company's page level make a full clone. Okay, like a setup plus master plus transaction data, everything will be cloned. So there is no option to exclude transaction data. So that is why this is wrong because they have specifically mentioned that you should copy the master and the setup data, but you should not copy the transaction data. This is what the highlight of the requirement. So if you don't wanted to copy the transaction data, you should not use copy function from the company's page because this will copy the entire thing. You will not get any option over there. So you have guessed it right. Okay, so the final question. You are creating companies for multiple customers in the cloud-based version of Dynamics 365 Business Central by using the assisted setup guide. You need to create a new companies. Okay, which template should you use? So here, this is another type of question. This is another type of drag and drop question. Okay, so what you should do is what they'll be giving you the template here in the left side. You have to drag and drop it according to the requirement. The first requirement is what? Create a company that has setup data and sample. Second requirement is what? Create a company that does not have setup data. And the third one is create a blank company that has setup data but does not have sample data.
I'll try.
Yeah,
Uh, First one can be evaluation.
very good.
Create a blank company that is set up. Second one will be create new, and third one can be production.
Great, very good. So, how it is like how you have to think because they have mentioned that they create a company that has a setup data. Already they have a setup data and the sample data. So you can make it as an evaluation. Okay, this is best for learning and testing. This is a demo data. Setup data and sample data is just a demo data. Second one is create a company that does not have a setup data. So for this, you have to just go ahead with the new, create new. And third one is create a blank company that has setup data but does not have the sample data. For this, you have to go with the production environment. So why production? Because it will create a blank company with setup data, but without the sample data. Only the setup data will be there. No sample data will be are allowed. Best for real customers who are starting fresh. Okay, it's a good try. So the first one, for the first options, you have evaluation. Evaluation is the first one. For the second one, create new, and for the third one, production. Good. Okay, fine. We have completed 5 questions, and we will see more questions. I'm planning for sample questions at least for 2 videos once, so that you will also learn simultaneously like how to answer those questions. So you can learn the other topics from here. Thank you. We will meet soon.